Hey, what is up YouTube? This is the TimeWizard here, coming at you guys again with another requested deck profile. Another shout out to Kobe Harris for this deck idea. He wanted me to do Toons this time. Now, Toons don't have a ton of support, so this deck profile I had a bit of difficulty with. It still has some kinks in it, but this is the build that I was able to work out the best. Uh, just to take note that I am not playing the Toon Dark Magician Girl or Toon Summon Skull. Those require tributes, and I want to keep this strictly almost like a rank 4 XYZ build. So, without further ado, let's get on to the profile. So I'm playing 2 Cannon Soldier. By the way, I'm going to save the discussion for the why I chose certain cards for the end. Anyway, so 2 Cannon Soldier, 3 Gemini Elf, 3 Goblin Attack Force, 1 Mass Sorcerer, 3 Toon Mermaid, 1 Photon Thrasher, Thunder King, 2 Kagato Kage, and 1 Masked Chameleon for the monster count. Then for the spells, we got Book Moon, Dark Hole, 2 Lance for protection, 1 Mind Control, triple MST, Rhoda, 3 Toon Table of Contents for the searching, 2 Toon World, 1 Boundless, 1 Compulse, 3 Fiendish Chain, 2 Mirror Force, 1 Warning, and a Torrential. So, like I said, I was going for a rank 4 sort of build, so that's why I got the Kagato Kages in here and the Photon Thrasher. I also decided to throw in the 1 Masked Chameleon to run with the Reptiles. You have the targets for Toon Goblin Attack Force as well as your Photon Thrasher. Uh, Even if you don't have your graveyard set up where you can go for one of those monsters to special summon, uh, you can always chain Kagato Kage and not use Masked Chameleon's effect, so you can go for a play there. I only threw in 1 because I just felt like 2 might have not have worked so well. In some cases it did. It was sort of situational. I just didn't feel like I always had enough targets. But I played this in my Battle Boxers and I ran the same amount of targets, and for some reason that works off better. But the goal for that is to send the 1 monster with 0 defense to the graveyard. So there's more opportunities. But this, it's hit or miss, really. Uh, but it just gives you options for synchro plays. It allows you to get into your rank 8s. So I thought that was pretty cool. Uh, so for you guys that don't know about Toons, all these guys can attack directly, and they all have like special effects. Like Toon Cannon Soldier, when you are able to attack directly, you can tribute a monster off. Gemini Elves, if you inflict battle damage, you get to discard 1 from your opponent's hand. Toon Goblin Attack Force, they go to defense after they attack, which is really nice. So that 23 wall is pretty hefty. It's sort of like your Photon Thrasher at 21 there. But usually you want to have Kagato Kage special that, maybe go for your attack, and then XYZ after your battle phase. So then the 1 Mass Sorcerer, I believe he allows you to draw a card once you inflict some battle damage. He's also dark, and I got the Kagato Kage, so I threw in Master Key Beetle for options and stuff. And then Toon Mermaid, she pretty much, in order to attack you, got to pay 500 life points. I don't know. It just works in there. It's nice. It's alright. It's just one of those level 4 tunes that you just have to play. It also helps because it's water for Dweller. If you want to make that, you get the 500 plus onto Dwellers because of its effect. So that's pretty cool. Also, a trend that I've been seeing lately in deck profiles, and I'm actually trying out myself, is mind control. I just figure if you can steal a monster and use it as your own for overlaying and whatnot, why not? So it worked out pretty perfectly in testing. So the main goal here, you usually want to get to your Toon Table of Contents, be able to search out all your stuff. Uh, Usually will want to go for your Gemini Elves or your Toon Mermaid, possibly even Cannon Soldier. Some of the other guys aren't too key. I guess you can even go for your Goblin Attack Force, but you sort of have Rhoda for that reason. And then Toon World. Something that I've noticed with this deck is you gotta be really careful when you play Toon World. You can't play it really wild, like, because if you pay this, you gotta pay the 1,000 life points, and then it usually gets MST'd. And if you already have a Toon monster out in the field, when Toon World goes, so do they. So that's a real big downfall. It's risk and reward, honestly. If you want to go for the direct attack, you sort of need the Toon World, but at the same time, it's just a big MST target. And I found that in testing that everyone would just sit on their MSTs once they knew I was playing this. They'd go hit this first. Sometimes the Phoenix Chain was able to take the MST blow, but for the most part, they just sat on it and just waited for me to play Toon World, and then I started to lose advantage that way. So you got to be very careful in your timing when playing this card. Because there's so much spell lineup, you sort of need the searching and some of the protection. There's not very much trap defense. I really wish I had more room for traps, but I wanted to keep it at a 40 card deck. So onto the extra deck. For your synchro options, because of the one Mask Chameleon, if you do opt to play 2, that's perfectly fine. I just felt like, once again, that 1 was just the perfect number. But you can make Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, pretty much whatever level 8 synchro you want. But then for like the XYZ portion, you got the Dweller. Like I said, you get the plus off of Toon Mermaid, Diamond Direwolf, Fairy King Aberdash. You have some Earth monsters in here. You got the Gemini Elves and the Toon Goblin Attack Force. If it happens, it's sort of situational. He could probably come out. You got the Gagaga Cowboy. You have the Heroic Champion Excalibur if you get out the Photon Thrasher and the Toon Goblin Attack Force. The options there. The one King of the Feral Imps, I suggest that you play this if you do decide to play the Reptilian engine, sort of, as you will. So you can get to your Kage-Tokages. You could even bump this up to 3, to be honest, if you really wanted to. I like it at 2 because then the third one doesn't become dead later on if you don't have another monster to normal summon, because you can't bring them out normal. But anyway, just so you can thin your deck out, search some more. King of the Feral Imps is a very cheap card to get a hold of, so definitely play that. You got the Maze Stroke, the Utopia. This easily could come out for something else. Utopia is not a very big card anymore for people, but he's there. Black Ship of Corn. I already talked about the Master Key Beetle. You have the Kage-Tokage, Toon Cannon Soldier, Mass Sorcerer. You can do that shenanigans. You could possibly even side in Skill Drink for this deck, and you could play your Crazy Box. That is actually really nice because then even Toon Goblin Attack Force becomes a bit of a threatening card at that 28 or the 2300 wall. So definitely something you could side in depending on how you build this deck. And then you got the one Photon Pop Operative. And then, as always, you can play the one Exciton Knight or the number 101 if you have access to those cards. I leave those out because they are expensive right now. Most people do not have access to them. But if you do have access to them, I suggest playing them. Take out the Maze Stroke for the number 101 and Exciton Knight or Extinction Knight, however you pronounce it. I would probably take out like Utopia. It does not really need it. But this is my take on it. You could even take out Mask Chameleon and go for even more XYZ options. I even saw a Barion's Force rank up deck using Toons and XYZs. I thought that was pretty cool. That is an option you could also take. But just for overall versatility and just be able to go for the XYZ extra deck plays and whatnot, I stuck with this build. So, you can really have it any way you like. But I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I hope you like my take on it. Once again, thank you, Kobe Harris, for suggesting this idea. I hope this helps you out. But as always, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.